Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to update your Subaru badge with vinyl and decal overlays to look something like this. The first step you'll have to do is thoroughly clean the area that you're going to be applying the vinyl to. Here I'm just cleaning off the surface with isopropyl alcohol and a clean cloth. Being sure to clean very thoroughly. I'm using a squeegee inside the cloth to kind of get into the little recess there where the blue area of the badge meets the chrome trim ring that's surrounding that area there. It's important to make sure that you clean very well. The vinyl that I'm going to be using for the background is Vvivid's holographic chrome, silver holographic chrome, and you can see I'm cutting a piece that's slightly larger than the badge itself. After double checking the measurements there or making sure it's good, I'm just going to heat up the surface area. In this video I actually did this outside and it's very cold, so the surface of my badge is pretty cold there. It's only about maybe 40 or 50 degrees outside. Vinyl does not like to stick to cold surfaces. So after warming up the surface there, you saw that I applied the vinyl loosely, and then now that I'm kind of massaging and working the vinyl around. What I just did there was peel off, in this case, a protective plastic cap that was on the chrome, which helps prevent scratching while it's in storage and during initial application. I'm now using my squeegee to massage the vinyl into that recess there where the blue meets the chrome, and I'm using a micro squeegee there, which basically is has a finer tip to it to make sure everything is tucked into that recess there in preparation for cutting. And you'll want to basically create a defined line so that when you cut, your blade can follow that guide. Added just a little bit of heat, and then I'm tracing again. One cautionary note here when working with chrome vinyl, it is very sensitive to heat, and if you put too much heat it will damage the vinyl itself. So when I use heat in this, it's on its lowest setting. You see that I'm always moving the heat gun, and as soon as I see the vinyl soften, I pull away the heat there. After a few last checks, make sure that my utility knife blade is super sharp. And then I put the tip into the recess, and just only the tip. Then I carefully and lightly just drag the tip or pull the tip through the recess there. Again, we spent a pretty good amount of time defining that line, and it's for the purposes of cutting nice and cleanly here. Carefully peel away the vinyl. You want to make sure that you don't just rip it off, because you might not have cut all the way through, and if you rip it off quickly and it didn't cut through, it would pull off the vinyl on the surface. Add a little bit of heat just to double check, make sure there's no bubbles and that the edges aren't lifting up. Use your squeegee or micro squeegee to redefine or push and make sure everything is tucked in nicely. The next step is to get your decal, or I'm cleaning the surface again one last time, and then getting your decal. And you can see that I'm just eyeball centering the decal there, rubbing it down onto the surface of the chrome vinyl. Once I'm satisfied with its placement, and then carefully peeling off the transfer tape. And there you go. You can see that now you have a badge overlay in chrome, holographic chrome background with matte black overlay itself. What I'm doing here is just double checking everything, giving it a little bit of heat to make sure nothing's going to move, and then making sure everything's tucked in nicely. And the badge is, for all intents and purposes, finished. So there you go. Easy peasy as far as making a holographic chrome background badge with a Subaru Rally logo onto the back. So the same process here. What I'm going to do is clean off the surface area there, and you can see that I'm using that cloth, and then I'm cleaning the badge itself, but I'm also cleaning fairly far around the area there. And the reason for being is that you don't want any of that dirt that's around the area to fall in behind your vinyl. So there I'm measuring out and cutting a piece of vinyl the size, slightly bigger than the badge, peeling from the backing paper, heating up the surface area. Again, it's cold outside, and so I want to make sure my surface area is not frozen, and so the vinyl sticks nicely. Place the vinyl on, and then massage it around, peel off that protective cap in this particular case for this vinyl. Lift it up if necessary, give it a little bit of heat. Again, it's cold, so the vinyl is kind of stiff and brittle. And you saw there that I had pulled the heat away as soon as I saw the vinyl start to soften up and get smooth again there. Same process again is with the front badge. I'm using a squeegee to define the line of where I'm going to be cutting, using a micro squeegee to kind of make that even more fine and more defined. The recess between where the blue badge and the chrome trim ring here is a little bit tighter than in the front pad, and so I'm making sure I go over it several times to have a good cut line prepared for trimming. Once I'm satisfied that is good to go, I take my utility knife. Again, make sure that your blade is super sharp. I'm using a snap-off blade, so I snap off a new blade to make sure that I have a really sharp blade cut through. Using the recess between the blue surface area and the chrome trim ring as my guide. Peel off carefully. Again, you don't want to just rip it off in case you can cut all the way through. After you peeled it off carefully, I'm adding just a touch of heat to make sure everything is set down. Using my micro squeegee again to make sure everything's tucked in nicely and no bubbles are forming up where the edges are open. Getting my decal ready, kind of eyeball centering it there. I'm going to take a look, see if I like it. Press it down firmly across the entire surface of the decal and then carefully peel away your transfer tape. Once your transfer tape has been peeled off, give it just a little bit of touch of heat, and then in this particular case you'll see that I'm going to give it a little bit more of a cleaning because the transfer tape left a little bit of residue on there, so I'm just cleaning that off. But for all intents and purposes, this badge is done as well. So I'll take the camera off, quick look-see. And there you go guys, really easy and making your own holographic background Subaru badge overlay. Hopefully you found this video to be helpful and informative. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.